Hi everyone, my name is Cody Lawhorn and I am the writer and one of the producers for Inklings. This is Season 0, Episode 1, Cowboy Dinosaur. Exterior, Hawthorne Library attic night. Establishing shot, I'll add that later. The Hawthorne Library is engulfed in heavy rain. The wind howls. Trees sway in the horrendous wind. Interior, Hawthorne Library attic night. Poe observes the weather out his window. Poe, the weather outside is absolutely horrendous. I absolutely love it. Lots of absolutelys there. Gonna chop those out. Poe continues to stand out the window observing the rain. Poe continued, "Not a person or bug in sight. Why, anyone who would dare brave this weather would simply be swept away, never to be seen again. Ha! No one outside to annoy me with their laughter." Poe is hit with the feeling that the rain maybe isn't that fun. Nope, no one having fun today. So let's see what we can add here. Poe. So Poe notices we're going to set something up that we're going to pay off later. This kind of falls in line with us keeping in mind Jesse's wish to have the bugs show up chronologically in order. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to put something in here that will tie in that kind of shows how all the bugs eventually end up meeting. So I had this idea, if Poe's looking outside on this rainy day, maybe a part of the awning to the library entrance is covered. There's an awning. So maybe he sees that water's been tracked up these steps. So we're kind of foreshadowing the arrival of another bug into our library here. So I added, Poe notices that someone tracked water onto the stairs, which is covered by an awning. Now, I think Poe should continue here. Just a little verbal indication from him that someone has done something to another thing to ruin his day. So we're putting something in here. We will most likely end up changing this in the edit. I as a writer, I tend to feel really self-conscious. This is usually about the part where the self-doubt kicks in, and I think that everything I write is garbage, and that if I can't write this, I'll never be able to write anything. But we're just winging it. We're just putting stuff in here. It may be silly. We may delete all of it. But here we go. We're just doing what we can here. So I wrote as a line for Poe. Hang on here. So I say, "Oh great, someone's probably tracked all the water into the library. Just perfect." So we could do a number of things here. We could have Poe go on about how someone has ruined his day by tracking in water to the library. What does Poe do? Would Poe want to confront that person? Does Poe just kind of want to be left alone to do his own thing? So this is where I struggle. Should I don't know. Maybe I should just skip ahead and sorry, bear with me here, folks. I think for now, what we will do is we will... This, folks, is all a part of the process. Doubting yourself, doubting what you write. My problem as a writer is I want everything to be perfect as soon as it hits the page. And you will eventually find yourself in a position where if you only write the words on the page and they're perfect, then sadly, you won't write very much. So I really try to either have a really good outline before I decide to sit down to write, or I just need to write by hand. And writing by hand tends to it helps me turn off the editor that's inside my head. Okay. So I think for now, let's maybe focus on the episode of what's happening on the TV that Poe is watching here. He could get angry and get upset and go downstairs and confront whoever tracked the water into the library. And so we'll figure out the transition point between either him just deciding that he's not going to be bothered with whoever did that, and that maybe he'll just sit down and watch TV instead. This is something that we will figure out as we go in and we edit. So right now I am just thinking, I am trying to think about what is happening on the screen with Cowboy and with Dinosaur. This episode is called Wrangling Up Some Grub, per Jesse's wishes. Beyond that, we really have no constraints whatsoever. I try to not let some of the things that Jesse wants to add in the episodes, for whatever reason, I find that it's best that I try to not have the mindset that Jesse's idea is completely different than my own, or that I think it's silly or that it doesn't fit. I feel that when you write and you are creating a show as a team, it's really important to try to listen to what your creative partner is saying. So what I'm getting at is that when Jesse has small requests, like he wants the episode to be wrangling up some grub, to where Cowboy and Dinosaur are trying to solve a problem about either agreeing to get food or how they're going to get the food. Maybe I had a different episode in mind from Cowboy Dinosaur that I thought would fit best. So I'm rambling here a little bit, but what I'm trying to get at is that I try to not let whatever little story detail Jesse wants to pepper in there, I try to not let it confine me. Sometimes it's easy to get that feeling when you have an idea of, like, you see a path of where you want the story to go, but then someone else, there's another cook in your kitchen, and this other cook says, all right, we got to have this ingredient. But you're like, well, what do you mean? Carrot cake doesn't have cayenne pepper or jalapenos in it. But, where I'm trying to get at is that you can still take ingredients that may not seem right at the time, and you can reframe how you view that element that your writing partner wants to put in there. And you have to reframe it in your head from the position of this thing is so silly, like this is going to completely ruin where I was going with the story. you can't let it limit you. You have to embrace what it is that... Now you can push back on things you firmly believe in, but I find that it's important to pick and choose your battles a little bit. As far as the bugs showing up chronologically, no, that makes sense. Again, my feelings for this, for season 0, is that I just want to show the variety and all the different types of skits and sketches that we have in the show. That is priority. That's like priority number 1 to me. I don't care what bug goes where. It just has to attract investors, and give you, our audience members, an idea of what this show is. So that aside, and all of my rambling, what I'm getting to and where I'm getting at is that I enjoy embracing the ingredients that Jesse likes to incorporate into these episodes. And I reframe my mindset from, this stinks and it's going to ruin the episode and I don't know what to do, and reframe that position to, you know what, this is really great. You've given me a launch pad, a place to take off from. And where I go from there, it's really, the sky's the limit. I can do whatever I want. And then we come to another point where it's like, okay, somewhere else in the journey, when the TV gets turned on, it has to be this particular episode. What Cowboy and Dinosaur do in the TV episode and what continues to happen to Poe throughout the rest of this episode is really kind of all up to me. And so I know Jesse will have input as we go through the edits, but I guess the key takeaway from this episode is that I'm trying to communicate is that it's important to maintain a creative. It's important to maintain your relationship with your creative partners and friends by not limiting yourself, not having a limited mindset when it comes to cooking with the ingredients on someone else's grocery list. That's what I'm getting to. Okay, we've talked a bit about incorporating other ingredients. I have been a little distracted with my rambling. And this is usually the point where, in my writing, I'm not sure if you guys can see, it is a little late at night. The writing process here, it's not going to be just a one-time episode of writing the rough draft and then we're going to be done. I initially thought that's how this was going to go, but I think it's only fair to you guys that you see how difficult the writing process can be. I'm going to do my best to try to make these writing episodes more compelling to all of you. And that means I'm going to have better outlines. That way I know what I'm going to write and in what order I'm going to write. And that way from there, I won't be in a position where I'm at now, where I have the editor that's just editing what I've written and trying to not make it garbage. And I kind of do myself a disservice by doing that. And I don't want to put all of you through that either. So Next time, we will continue on, and it will be great. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. And this is Inklings Behind the Scenes. My name is Cody Lawhorn. I hope all of you have a wonderful day. Thank you.